Hi, everybody. We're
Hi
here.
guys.
We did it.
Hello.
Hi. You guys can go ahead and drop in the chat that you're excited to be here like we are. We have a new face here. For
Yo,
Yeah.
the
yo,
chat.
yo.
Cam!
Cam
I'm
is here.
trying to get Cam on here since we started, and now it worked to where we were all here,
Oh
which
my
Yes,
is
god.
I apologize. It
Yes.
took me 3 episodes to get here. So
it's better than 10. It's all
facts.
good. It's all good. So, whew, love it, love it. Ugh. Hey!
Ooh.
Hey,
Okay, hi
yay.
guys. Let's just go ahead and I guess introduce ourselves. I could start. Hi guys, welcome back to another live. If you don't know who I am Braylyn. I go by Linny Mouse on YouTube. And sometimes I react to K-pop music videos, just anything really K-pop. But right now we're into World of Street One Fighter. Hey guys. Hi everyone who is coming into the live. But we'll let you know. We'll let you know.
We do drink
But yeah.
coffee around here.
Woo. Okay, well that's me. And Jessica, did you want to go?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Jess, and I'm a dance choreographer, dance educator, dance analyst for YouTube and outside of it. And I've been covering all of the Fighter franchise since 2023, so it's very near and dear to my heart for YouTube and Patreon. And it's been really nice to have conversation with fellow commentators of different, scopes to be able to touch on certain things, as well as talk with you guys in real time. I normally don't, so this is really fun for me. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
My name is Cameron, also known as Cam is here. Made my name real simple for everybody. I am also a dancer, choreographer, director as well. I've just been touching up on Street Woman Fighter, Street Man Fighter, just the whole thing. I really think Street Woman Fighter season 3 specifically is really, really interesting just because there's multiple cultures being involved. So I'm really excited to get down into this.
Yes,
Yes.
love
Oh,
it, love it.
Cam, can I actually ask you, since you weren't here for the other lives, do you have
Yeah,
any
of
thoughts
course.
on what has happened so far? Anything you can say, just so we can kind of gauge your
Gauge where I'm at.
opinions? Maybe we could start there on your thoughts so far on the last 3 episodes.
Last 3 episodes. Okay,
So
so
much to
yeah, there is a lot. First of all, my girls bumps up. They going through it. All right, that's one. That's one. That's one. I start the show. I was like, yes, let's go, Team Korea. As I'm watching, I'm like, okay, y'all, you get in there. Trust y'all gonna get there soon. Um, Other than that, the judges specifically, I do believe they're really great choices because I do think
Mm.
the see the dances pretty well. They have very reasonable responses into what their choices are. So I'm not too upset at the judges' decisions so far lately, but there's been some hit or misses here and there. We all seen them, but
Mm.
for sure, I just think so far it's really good. I really love the show.
Ooh, do you have any favorites, or do you want to say your favorites, or maybe not?
Mm. Okay, I'll say this. At the start of the show, the the group that has really caught my eye from the first, I believe the Toon Channel posted like the K-pop mission, uh, videos first, right?
Yeah.
So after watching that, I think who really caught my eye was AG Squad.
Mm.
AG Squad for sure. But then my channel got mad at me because I thought that Royal Family I thought they did better on that.
Ooh.
I still thought that AG Squad killed it. But I was like, but Royal Family,
Ooh.
I was like, there's something there, right? So
Ooh, Cam,
yeah,
Cam.
there's something
Controversial.
there.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. This is
Ooh. I will
Yes.
say, I don't know if I voiced it, but when I
Mm.
first watched that, I think I leaned more. Oh, it's so embarrassing. I
Let's get
leaned
it.
more to royal family, but I think looking back, it was probably because like the costuming and like I just feel like they were very animated. I think that's why they caught my eye the
Mm.
first time around. And then when I rewatched that same mission, them versus AG Squad, I was like, oh yeah, for sure AG Squad. But I definitely flip flopped a little bit. But no, my channel did not get mad at me, so I'm happy about that. But yeah,
Hey,
they're
hey,
maybe
yo,
they're more
people
gracious.
is.
Oh, I
Oh,
mean, yeah, maybe they're a little bit more kinder to me. I don't know what that was.
oh,
But no one dragged me, thank God. But yeah, at
Mm.
first I was like, "Oh, royal family caught my eye more," and then second time around I was like, "Oh, whoa, AG Squad." But yeah, happens. It happens. So your favorite crew right now, you would say, is AG Squad. You would say?
Yes. I'm still a big because I one thing about me, ever since I started dancing, I am a huge Rihanna fan. I am like a super
Mm,
fanboy of her. So like already off the rip RH Tokyo, I was like, I don't want to be biased, so I want to hold back. But at the same time, she's going crazy. So like,
yeah.
yeah, but I definitely think as a group, as a team, I think
Mhm.
AG Squad is definitely like super dope. Movement quality is
Yeah.
crazy.
Mhm, mhm. Um, yeah, I'll update you a little bit because we were going in our last two lives. I feel like a big topic was a little bit like the editing and the storylines that we feel like maybe Mnet was trying to create. So I'll just update you on that. That's kind of like the time we're on right now is
Mhm,
we're kind of calling them out a little bit by with the evil editing that we do notice and maybe the forced storylines. So
mhm.
if we bring that up, you know why. We've just kind of been on that kind of wave of noticing these things and calling them out and discussing them in these lives. So
Okay.
yeah, just so you know. I don't know if you have any opinions on that. Have you noticed any
Uh,
editing or
I
anything
mean,
you're like,
I feel like Mnet typically always has a history of doing this type of editing because before Street Woman Fighter, I have always watched like on my own free time Show Me the Money. Huge Show Me the Money fan.
mm,
I love it to death.
oh yeah.
And I know the editing there, it's like I'm not new to this, so
Mhm.
that's why I was like, when I see certain faces or like certain things said it, then this is the reaction they choose to show. It's like, I'll take it, with a grain of
Yeah.
salt because it's like, I don't know.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, and I think someone just said loopy. Is it loopy? They said bumps up victim edit, and I will say like I feel like I've commented on the fact that I feel like maybe bumps up is kind of like the underdog. They're trying to make them seem as like they're the underdog, like kind of woe is
Mm,
me, kind of everyone's against them, everyone's bullying them, and they're just down and they're out.
mhm.
And will they rise up and be victorious? Like I feel like that's the storyline that they're trying to drum up, but I don't know. I don't know. But we'll
Yeah.
see as time goes on. But let's get into the episode and then we could discuss that a bit more because I feel like that might come up again when we discuss this episode that just aired. So, um, yeah, I guess let's just run into how the episode began for episode three. So we started with well, we were left off on a cliffhanger where they were competing for the leader class, I believe, and so we didn't know who was going to win the main dancer role. In
Yes.
this, yeah, in this episode, we saw them competing, the leaders competing, and they chose Rihata's choreography. So we know she won the choreography. Personally, I will stand by the fact that I feel like that was a huge mistake. I don't know why they chose that. Her choreography is just so specific to her. And in my mind, I'm like, there is no one on this entire show who will be able to dance that specific choreography better than Rihata. It doesn't matter if Kaya does it her way or Marley tries to do it her way. It's always going like the judges are going to see this choreography and it's going to be Rihata being the one that stands out the most. So anyway, so we saw them compete. Um, I guess what were you guys' opinions on just them competing? And then I guess we'll go to the results.
You can.
Oh, me first.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I love listening. I want to be third the whole time. If y'all are okay,
Okay.
I just want to listen.
I mean, I'm cool with it. I'm
I'm
cool with
Got it.
gonna put in some work here, catch
So
up.
again, as someone that has watched Rihanna for a very, very long time, as soon as I saw her piece, I was like, I see why they chose it. It is
Mm.
definitely it's it fits the song very well. Other than I do think Honey J's piece also fit very well. I liked the understanding behind her piece, but again, I do think them choosing Rihanna's piece was the downfall of them because there's she's it's hers, you know.
Yeah.
It is clear as day that the way she goes into the dance, the facials, the grooves, she understands them specifically, and not only that, she changed a bit of the textures too when she went again the second time. So I was like,
Mm.
oh, now she's playing with it, right? So she's letting them know that it's hers. It's hers at the end of the
Yeah.
day, no matter what anybody does. I mean, I do think Kaya did it really, really well though. I do think she did it really, really well. I love the way she digs into her movements. And I'm like, she's close. She's close. But again, it's that's just my opinion. I think Rihanna absolutely just destroyed them. And it's sad to say, but hey, y'all chose her piece. That's all I have to say, you know?
Right.
So I've watched Rihanna for a hot minute as well. It's really nice, and I know Cam, you probably feel this way. There's a lot of people that are on the show that I've known before I went back to doing YouTube here back, a couple of years ago. So it's really cool seeing them here. When it comes to the leader mission, I would have opted for myself because when I watch the draft, so I don't know if Cam you do this because you said you dance, right? So it's a I try to put myself in the place of if I were hold on guys, let me after I finish my thought. She's here. Oh, you're here.
Hello.
Hello.
Fantastic. Um oh gosh, okay, thoughts. I always look at the choreography for the drafts. If I'm sitting there, would I pick it for myself? And
Mm,
out of all the choreographies, I would have picked Honey J's because
mm,
I understood the intention of it before I learned what the intention of it was, which was cool.
mhm,
Able to pick up on it because of Stage Fighter, and because of the Korean dance. There, you pick up on certain nuances that they talk about there. So I understood that, and also how she structured it in her movement and her sequences were things that I could be able to through musicality or through my own personal textures be able to go for. Now with Rie, you're watching Street Man Fighter, right, Cam? You said
yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
yeah, so it'd be the equivalence of the sub leader class picking Ingyu's choreography. It is
Ah,
so textured, and I'm like, I
nice.
loved his choreo. I wouldn't pick it because I couldn't do it better than him. With Rie, because I understand if you go off of context on how the judges have been judging, right, and you're seeing what they're touching on, what they're focusing on. I was in the line of same vibe as Marley, which is really cool. She was going for Honey J's choreo as well, but then after thinking about it, because they couldn't make a decision in the episode, uh, they opted into doing Rie's choreo because Marley's like, out of anybody's that who could do it, I could do it the closest to her. And
Mm,
whenever I analyzed it based off of the the phrasing into the type of track it is into the overall thinking main dancer, not direction, my votes were I combine names, Kaya and Marley.
kind of
But I
Marley.
understand why they picked Honey J to go with Rie because Honey J did it closest to how Rie did it in her texture. And if you look at the choreo draft that Rie did, she looked looser and more full there compared to how she was approaching it in the audition because a lot of things I didn't really realize this until I was watching the episode. Rie's never really in a position to audition anymore. She auditions people. So she
Facts.
doesn't
Yeah.
have to be in that position anymore because she did backup work for Gaga. She's done a lot of that kind of stuff. So she's already done her time, right? So she's converted into the role she is. It would be the same thing as me auditioning when I'm so used to auditioning or choreographing for people. And so the fact that she not only had to the choreography was one thing. She had to justify her own choreography in front of a panel and it could get stolen from her. That could be really daunting and hard. And so I come from the lens on how Rie did it at audition. Looked like her adrenaline caused her movement to regress and stiffen compared to
Okay.
how she's doing it in the choreo draft. But I
Mhm.
agree when it comes to the choice they made for having Rie get leader position for the direction, I'm fine with that if they kept that perspective across the board, which goes to the main point with the judges that when you have consistency, then the consistency speaks for what it is and you can move on from it once you know what it is. But there
Mhm.
wasn't consistency in any facet up until this point, which is why it gets really hard for us to have peace with, okay, Ria got selected because they're thinking about direction, but Royal got picked because even though AG would have been good directors for their own choreography because of how Royal did it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's
Facts. Facts.
why that's the tricky part in all of it. For me, I'm fine with Ria getting it because I knew the video was going to be great, and by them picking Ria's choreography, it's a great choice. I think it's cool. So it didn't really bother me at all. And also, we have no idea what goes on in production when it comes to like swaying, recommendations, things like that.
Mhm.
We have to remember
Facts.
with Mnet, they pull every chord in the sky that they can. We're just here sipping on tea and enjoying it.
Ooh, ooh, yeah. Well, Mary Claire, welcome. We're just at the very beginning of the episode, recapping the leader class and them competing to be main dancer. So that's where we are. I will add, in regards to this whole situation, I did enjoy that they rotated. Like they did three at was it three at a time, and they rotated to see who was going to be in the middle. I loved that so much because like I know each girl was like ready to be in the middle, ready to show the judges why they specifically would shine. And I feel like it was just such a good idea. But I will say one thing that I love that Rie did was every time they rotated and she wasn't in the center, at the beginning of the song, she would slightly change her intro. And I feel like no matter what, I think she was just very smart in the fact that she knew no matter what, I'm gonna grab these judges' attention, even if I'm not in the center, even if I'm rotating and now someone else is in the center. I'm gonna grab your attention no matter what. And I would watch her and see like what is she gonna do now, and she would do something different at the beginning, and I was like, she is so smart. So I just wanted to add that little tidbit. I will also say it ended up being Rie and Honey J, the two finalists that they went again, right?
Mhm.
I feel like, I feel like Honey J kind of stole my attention in that rematch. Like Honey J really pulled out all the stops to kind of show her personality. Like I think the beginning, like she turned around, I think like walked to the front or something that was like uh, sh- a, a good way to show like the personality and just show the attitude that I thought worked really well with the song.
Mhm.
Um, I feel like with that rematch between her and Rie, I think Honey J stole it from me, but I get why Rie was the ultimate winner. She understood the song way better. It was hers from the very beginning, we all know, and the judges knew that she would be the perfect person to direct everything,
Mhm.
and she, in my opinion, was ultimately. But yes, but Mary Claire, did you want to say any of your opinions on that matchup? Um, anything? I don't know.
We can't.
Oh, you're
We're
muted.
not able
Oh,
to hear you.
oh, the mic. The mic.
Oh no. Um, girl, do you want to figure that out and then we can, I don't know, okay, figure that out. We'll get right back to you. I guess we could just Oh, Jessica, did you
Yeah,
want to?
two things. The first one with the I somebody mentioned the oh gosh, that main dancer mission should be split between direction and dancer. I
Mm.
agree with this. The director's cut was such a smart choice. And I believe main dancer should have gotten a director's cut. Direction, the judges should have picked choreographed.
Yeah,
Two
it's
completely
that.
different skill sets. So that
Yeah.
was one thought there. And then my second thought, somebody asked if I would be able to empathize with the girls dancing 3 times in the row. I just learned that one and I posted it a couple days ago. And I am posting tonight on YouTube that I happen to do 2 takes in a row that were decent. And I'm gonna upload that. Oh, Mary Claire, I think it's echoing a little bit on your side.
Oh, let me mute. Sorry. Can you guys hear me now?
No, no, you're fine.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes.
Okay, let me just
Um,
mute.
oh, I doing it twice sucked a lot because of the type of choreography it is. I mean, Rie's structure is polyrhythmic and really tricky.
Hmm.
So whenever you have it paired with when you notice how her shoulders go versus just how the phrasing can be very tricky if you're not mindful of watching for it, and then having it build and having to know when to punch for it, when to regress is really fatiguing because you're always engaged the whole time, even if you don't look engaged from the top to bottom. You can't look tired either. It's not supposed to come across that way. So doing it as much as I was very, very fatiguing, and I had zero pressure on a time crunch for it either. So that's, I mean, I learned in about 46 minutes from start to finish, but I didn't have the stress of a show already being fatigued from filming, because many people mention Ojo Gang has talked about this on their commentary. I know Waxy's mentioned this, Trix has mentioned this. The fatigue and of turnaround time for getting stuff done is so niche to the show that I'm honestly surprised that it's not worse. Like the quality that they're putting out is so
Yeah.
incredible for the amount of stress, emotional fatigue, physical fatigue, creative fatigue that they are experiencing in the time frame that they're given, right? So yeah, that I wanted to touch on those two things because somebody asked what I thought about it. I'm sore still from doing that dance, so I get it.
No, yeah, it's
Oh, wow.
crazy, crazy engaging what they're doing.
Oh my gosh. Ugh, any thoughts, Mary Claire, on the leader class and that competition?
Okay, I do actually like that they did the whole center thing 3 times. So that was
Mm.
actually nice to see each person be center. So it was kind of like a feel of how others will do as a backup dancer or
Mm.
like a main dancer vibe. I do really like the way Honey J did execute the song. I think she did really well. But I was like, at the same time, it feels like with these things, leader leader class always goes with the actual person that did create the thing. So I was like, I wasn't too hyped about it. So I was like, okay,
Mm.
I think it's gonna go to Rie. It's either, but she did do pretty well. But at the same time, also Honey J did really well. So I was like torn between the two. But I can't really
Yeah.
say much. I didn't have that many
Mm.
thoughts on that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Someone's saying that they wish they did a battle for like the worst dancers, which I mean, we will definitely get into that, but that's a very good point. Like, I feel like that would have been great to have the worst dancers kind of defend themselves. But anyway, like, we'll definitely get into that. Or unless, do you guys want to jump into that or wait a little bit?
Mm. I'm down for whatever. I mean, does chat? I mean, let's see. A lot of them are saying that that they wish that it was a worst dancer battle. So I guess we could get into it. We could get into it.
Okay, I mean, my only thoughts on that is I kind of agree. Like, I feel like the people who were chosen as worst dancer, it was all strategic. Like, it wasn't really who they thought was the actual worst. Well, I mean, there was some, but maybe we won't. There was, yeah, but I think in general, for the most part, like it was the people that they just wanted to. I don't know. It was just definitely strategic, and I just feel like it would have been nice to get those people who I just didn't really agree with being chosen as worst dancer to be able to battle it out and defend themselves. It would have been nice to see. I don't know why they didn't do that, but it would have been nice. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the I feel like just having the power already to just throw -50 at a crew is such a huge advantage to where I do agree that I feel like some crews, well, the crews, all of them should have been able to be like, I don't believe that, right? I really think it should go to so and so, so and so, right?
Mhm.
So in terms of AG choosing Royal, I get it from a professional standpoint. Okay, it's like you're there, you're here to do a job, you're on like national television, yet you're doing this, right? So it's kind of like I get it, I get it, sure, but at the same time, the fact that they just took a blind eye to who's clearly winning, which is RH Tokyo,
Yeah.
right? They're just murdering every single competition, and they're just like, it's like it's like this, and it just drives me crazy because I'm like, no, y'all are like handing it to them. Like, I
Exactly.
wish that it was just like, okay, yeah, sure, y'all threw 50 at them, but it would have been so much better if they could just throw it somewhere else, or they could like rethink about it, like, okay, like, yes, we are mad or pissed at them, but at the same time, like, over there, they're having too much fun. They're having way too much fun. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. That's my thoughts on it.
Yeah. I mean, we'll definitely go into more detail about
Mm.
the choices and the decisions and why and all that and what actually went down. Does anyone else have thoughts on the worst dancers being able to battle it out? Did you guys think that that should have happened? What do you guys think?
I'm
Yeah.
muted. Okay, not me. I think because of how it was judged, it's so inconsistent. I don't think it would have mattered, honestly. It's just going to create more opportunity for drama because you didn't
Mm.
have a criteria properly set. Whether it's the judge's fault or not, like I don't really blame them for that as much as there's a across the board multiple things that go into structuring for a show like this. And so there's not any one component that's like if that worked then everything would be fine. I do come from the lens the reason why I'm not really like for the battles is they would probably focus on the drama part more than the battle itself.
Mm,
And because they're being very particular about what they post in uncuts for battles right now, they're kind of just I don't know. They're not going to be doing very many favors. Instead, they're going to probably be starting more issues because they're going to continue to neglect in by showing what they do show and then by not showing as well. So I think I'm more so looking forward to elimination battles than I am for these because eliminations, what I've noticed in the franchise, tend to be more of quality because of the space and the frame work that goes into it. It's more combative and there's more quality 2v2s, more quality crew v crews in
Mm.
1v1s. And I like how it's structured, where it's like, I don't know, that like there's, it's particular two people versus two people here and they know that going in and they know who their opponent is. As it just feels that's my feeling on it.
Mhm.
mm,
That's probably why I'm on it. I'm also too like ready to kind of move through where we're at because I know the battles will be of more quality, and I will be surprised if Mnet doesn't. Oh man, I just read a comment. If I read them on the back of a cereal box, I believe every word. That's actually very flattering. I'll try not to to lead people that blindly. But let me think. I would be surprised if Mnet doesn't reevaluate who they get for battles, knowing the backlash they've experienced with the earlier episodes. They tend to be listening
Mm.
ears when it's bad enough. When they can't
Yeah.
control certain parts of the narrative, they adjust, is what I've
Mm.
noticed in seasons past. So I'm hopeful that I know some people have been rumoring, some people have been asked to do stuff. I don't know. So
Mm,
everyone go dig on Reddit for me and let me know
mm,
on the subreddit. So
mm. Any thoughts, Mary Claire?
Yeah, on my side, I think I got so used to the worst dancer picking who they think the worst dancer was. So to not see that this season, I was kind of taken aback, like, oh, we're not doing that. We're just taking 50 points and we're just moving on like nothing happened.
Hmm.
So I actually really wish that they did do that thing of I'm not the worst dancer. This crew is the worst dancer because somebody could have actually been better dancer than them. But that whole thing of the royal family and AG squad, I think, yeah, the royal family picking AG squad just because they got picked makes no sense at all. So I really don't understand that. So yes, they should have given those that to RH Tokyo. They didn't have RH. Yeah, they should have given it to
Yeah,
RH Tokyo for me. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what the drama is with that. Very weird, very odd. So I really hope that they edit that, but I
yeah,
guess not.
Mm.
But yeah, just like Jessica said, it could create a lot of drama also. And Mnet loves drama.
they love it.
Love it.
they
Oh
eat
my
it
Love
up
god.
so much. Bless their hearts. Goodness.
Hmm. Yeah, I just feel like I wouldn't be surprised if they were told to pick each other or something like that, just to continue this rivalry. Because in my mind, they're not really beefing in real life. So it's just like, I know, in my mind, who knows really? But I just feel, unless I think they've said something, but I just don't really believe the drama. But
No, I don't
it
think
definitely
they're
feels
busy in real life.
no, like I just feel like it's just for the show. So I wouldn't be surprised if that whole situation was also um the producers having their hand in it. But yeah, it is what it is. I guess we're just gonna have to deal with this rivalry for a little longer. But moving on to like the classes and like the practice for each class, I kind of wanted to just address like the AG Squad girls. Was it the rookies? That has the two
Yeah,
girls.
rookie class.
Okay. Yeah, so the rookie class with the AG Squad girls being in charge. I thought it was interesting during practice that they were able to kind of see and like already give them like a nomination, like the royal family girls a nomination for who they thought was, I mean, that they might choose them as the worst dancer. I just thought that that was kind of like weird.
Hmm.
Um, but just because like the royal family girls, like they after practice they went into the room and saw the paper there and just like saw like, oh, here's a heads up, like you're nominated for worst dancer. And the way that the royal family girls as well just laughed it off, ripped up the paper, all that. And I was just like, oh gosh, like this is another thing that the producer may be throwing in just to create drama, like this whole nomination. I was like, okay, here's another thing to cause drama. But they were nominated, and the reasoning I believe the AG Squad girls gave was that they were creating TikToks, they were making videos during rehearsal, during the time when they told them like, hey, like work on your director's cut dance. And the apparently part of the time when they were rehearsing they were creating TikToks. And I think they denied it as well in that moment. They're like, TikToks, like not us, no. Like they were just like laughing at it. And I was like, oh God. But then they showed all the different times where they were
Right.
creating TikToks. Um, Even on set, they were taking selfies, they were doing all this stuff, taking videos and like creating a lot of videos as well. And then we also got to see Kaya um, chime in and say like, Paris like would not have that. Like if she knew that she would have not been happy with you girls essentially if she knew that you guys were on a job creating TikToks, like she would never allow that. So I thought that as well was an interesting comment because it's valid. Like I just feel like the royal family girls were not being professional, and I could see why the AG Squad girls being the directors would see that and kind of take that as an insult as well to them, to their leadership. So I get why they nominated them to be worst dancer. And then also during the practices with the middle class, we saw the royal family girls nominated Osaka, I believe, as the worst dancers, and they got their little card in their room. But they also were upset about it, but they kind of took it in a different way, which I really appreciated. I feel like the royal family girls in the last class laughed it off and they didn't take it seriously and they continued with that behavior. And then like they were kind of just like, I don't get it, I don't get it. And they just kind of continued doing what they were doing. But then in the middle class, the Osaka girls kind of took it as like, oh, like even though we're upset about this, we're gonna make sure that we stand out, that we dance harder, that we, make sure that we are, you know, showing that we actually want to do well. And so I kind of like that they took
Mm.
it as like they changed their attitude. They made adjustments. So I was like, why didn't the royal family girls do the same thing? Like they kind of set themselves up a little bit. Like you're getting a warning. Like wouldn't you want to change up a little bit? Um, but yeah, I don't know if you guys wanted to had any thoughts about that, those two classes and the practice situation, and I don't know. What'd you think?
Um, I think in terms of uh their choice in who they chose as worst dancer wasn't like in terms of being the worst dancer, right? I don't think those two groups were the worst dancers.
Mhm.
I think they did very well dance wise, of course, but I mean, again, whenever if anyone has directed or been a teacher before, or is just trying to give command somewhere to build something, if someone's ignoring you, obviously it's annoying, right? So
Mhm.
I think they just took other factors into account when it came down to just picking worst dancer, right? And I do agree that Ojo Gang did, they saw in a different light. They're like, okay, we got nominated, so then let's go. But I find it interesting. Was there more than one nominee though? Was it just the one?
Mm.
There's
Leader was the one where there were two nominations.
there were two nominations,
It
right?
was Ibuki and Honey J got nominations from Rie for leader. The others only had one, if I'm remembering correctly.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah, cause
Mm.
the leader one's a bit tricky for me, cause I honestly don't know what she was going what she was thinking about when choosing it. Like I could understand to an extent, but at the same time I was like, the leader one's a bit harder, just because I mean they're all so good, but they all come from different backgrounds and everything, so you can't, it's more of a preference, or who do you think is better than the other, really, so I can't really talk about the leader class, honestly, but middle class, i think I think the choices should have been a bit more strategic, in my opinion, honestly.
Yeah.
I totally get that. I know, what was it? AG Squad was regretful that they didn't select RH Tokyo, but also they come from the position of those girls worked so hard and they got director's cut as well. So it's one of those, they were focusing on the actual attitude and character of the people in this space. And one thing that I found interesting was they weren't able to, bring it to royal family's attention. Hey, we're noticing this, please be mindful of that in the space, because whenever I've had dancers and I ask them to do something and they're off doing something else, that can be very disrespectful in the space and it reads a lot more passively. And so I know you could probably attest to that as well, Cam. So it when you work with really large numbers in particular, you have to delegate at times. And so it's they were going more so off of the professionalism side because everyone's good. I come from that. Everybody, if you look at the everybody auditioning, everybody held their own. There were certain nuances of preference based on whatever criteria was set whenever we looked at it. So that's why their focus on professionalism, I understand, but from a strategy standpoint, you a lot of people do tend to, focus on the taking people out, So I believe Ojo Gang is not as big of a threat because they're weaker on points. Motive, can I just say, they're coasting right now. Like they
Mhm.
are like under the radar, but they got second in battles. Like they're not out of the woods in any way, shape, or form in sense of like at the bottom of the barrel whatsoever. They're right in the middle. They're doing this, but they're not a threat either. So it could just be because of Mnet's editing too that gives that impression as well. I also come from the lens on Rie picking Honey J. My gut tells me it's because Rie understands the viewership that Korea has, so she's thinking future. We're knocking the points down because that can help in the future
Mm.
because they're very well known. Even though they didn't have results yet, that could be a future strategy thing. But remember, I'm just projecting. I have no idea, And yeah, the whole thing with Honey J struggling with language, totally understand that. Because I think it's very safe to assume Subakill and Jam Republic experienced that same thing last season. But that wasn't as well. I didn't watch the episodes of season 2, so I actually don't know if they touched on that language barrier. I know they did as a form of critique for Latrice's choreography, but I don't know if that was like they were touching on Latrice has a language barrier or whoever was in those classes from Subakill. Did they make that a narrative? I don't know. So that's kind of my overview on it. If we look at it from a strategy standpoint, AG going for royal family, I feel like they're always going to be compared. So if you're going to get somebody out, get somebody out. But then also, it's a RH. You don't realize like, oh, they're there as a radar person, and oh, they're actually doing pretty well, and you don't realize it until it's too late. That's the kind of vibe they give off too, which is a very good vibe to have at times. And the girls did choose her choreography, so that's why that's another thing too, where it's a you gave her the benefit, so indirectly in that sense, but I don't know. Those are my like shower thoughts about it. I try not to be too married to it because Mnet does a lot of things behind the scenes that could completely shift how we view what went down. So that's why I'm like, this is how I feel about how it was presented. But then again, it could be completely different. Like all of them are on great terms, I bet you. So that's
Right.
why this is just fun. It's fun to talk about though.
Yeah. Mary Claire, did you have any thoughts?
Okay, on who they all picked. I think for AG squad picking Maya and Kylie. I don't think they were the worst dancers because they actually like danced pretty well. But as they say, they're picking on like their character and how they are during the practice. They were pretty loud and very much distracted, but we don't know when that's happening, but that's what they wanted. But
Mm.
in terms of dancing, I don't think they were the worst. So that's just that strategy. And Royal Family picking AG Squad was just like, I feel just out of spite. It made no sense. I think there's more teams that were worse dancers, but yeah, they just wanted to do an eye for an eye vibe.
Yeah.
And in the leaders, I think Ria really had no choice because every leader did so good. So she really just had to pick one person. I think she chose Honey J because of the whole language barrier thing. I think maybe she wasn't able to communicate as well with her. But
Mhm.
besides that, Honey J was still killing it. So she just had to pick somebody. So I think Honey J was like the most easiest one to pick in a way. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely felt sorry for Honey J because she was already really, really stressed. Like we could see, like in the practice, like she didn't want to really slow them down because she kept asking, but like she had to wait for like the translation. Like it was like a whole thing, and she was already getting so worked up about it. And then like I think she started asking other people for some help and tips and trying to get close with the other girls in her crew because she didn't want to maybe bug Rihata as well. Like I just felt, oh, my light turned
Oh
off.
no.
Oh no. Give me one
Oh
second.
no.
Yeah. Uh,
Oh
oh,
no.
I will add on to like the whole. I feel bad that Honey J doesn't see herself in that light comparative to the other leader class, because I feel like I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Honey J's very much international as the rest of them. Because I mean, even before Street Woman Fighter, as we all know, she's worked very closely with Jay Park. Jay Park has been in the game for a good minute, and I personally know a lot of people that literally go to his concerts just to see her, you know? And it's the fact that after Street Woman Fighter, of course, she blew up even more from that. So I feel I see why she thinks that, but at the same time, I'm like, nah, girl, like I know you, like trust, like you definitely up there with them.
I feel, at least if we look at it in the context of the show, she's definitely well known to the viewers specifically. And there's a chance she may be significantly more well known than some of the other girls that are more internationally known because of the type of competition it is. So it was very unfortunate though that she was comparing in that sense, because it's, I know too, with a lot of those women, they go off of somebody not because of their credentials, but because of the kind of value of their character and who they are as a person in this space. That's something that's been really cool, and that's how a lot of people who are in those positions tend to operate. And so I know that Rie probably wouldn't look at Honey J and look down on her, nor Marley, nor Ibuki, for her lack of international presence at like Fair Play, because that was another thing touched on, was Marley and Rie do Fair Play together. So, and that's an international convention of sorts with Sean Liu, Casey Rice, you know, Robert Greene, a ton of people from all over the world, which is very interesting. So I know from at least who's there, I can comfortably say that they wouldn't look at Honey J and see her as less than because of her lack of international presence in comparison to what they do, because they see her as a leader. That's something they can compare with, right? They understand that she's made contributions in her own spaces, and that's something that has value, and she's a mother. And I feel like they touched more on the fact, like the fact the mothers are doing this more than most things. That's what I loved about the leader video, was they added pictures of their kids at the end. Like, I thought that was beautiful. So it's a little, you know, getting a little head, but yeah, it was unfortunate that Honey J had that headspace, and I wish that it wasn't that way. But whenever you're in a tin box like they are for as long as they are, it's hard to see outside of that reality, because they're in there for who knows how long, and we get to go touch grass at any time. Who knows, you know, with their turnaround times, what kind of endearments they're allowed, you know? Anyway, bless their hearts, man.
Yeah, that's a very good point. What did you guys think of who won the director's cut for
Oh, Cam
each?
said he had opinions, so let's have him start first. I'm gonna go get
Yes.
some coffee. I'll be back.
Okay.
Um, I honestly thought, well, starting rookie class, I honestly thought that Motive would have taken the director's cut. I thought Motive would have taken it, cause I just thought I it was hard for me to Ars Tokyo definitely like gave character in a way, cause I'm thinking with director's cut, right, it's someone that's like really making that section shine a lot. I do think those ladies did it very, very well. I just thought that Motive, it it, it just looked better to me personally, you know. As far as middle class, I agree with Ojo Gang. I agree with Ojo Gang. I think in terms of what everyone was going for, at least for the middle class song, I do like the way that Ojo Gang did it, and they had the camera at the end coming up real close. I think it just added on to like the tension of the song and building it up really well right there. And then director's cut for leader class. What was that? Was also that was Marley, right?
Mm-hmm.
Marley
She got
got,
it.
yeah, yeah. Marley got it. Yeah, say I agree with that one. The only one that's honestly the only one that I don't agree with was the rookie class one. I do believe Motive probably should have gotten that one. But I think Marley was a really great choice and Ojo Gang was a really great choice for those.
Mm, okay, I would say definitely for the rookie class. I think that RH Tokyo definitely should have taken it. I
Okay.
think that they just brought they brought exactly what I needed. I feel like this the right vibe and attitude for that song, and I just feel like I think they showed their choreography first, and then the other people for the director's cut, and I just couldn't get RH Tokyo's director's cut out of my mind. So I was like hoping that they were gonna win, and then they won, and I was like, okay, thank God. I just felt like they stood out to me. I would say for middle class, definitely Osaka. Oh my God, shivers! Like they killed it, and I think they made a mistake, or not a mistake, but I think that there was a moment where like the camera got too close and then like almost hits Kyoka or something like that, right? And they're like, "Oh no, like can we do it again?" Like they were really worried, and I was like, "Oh gosh, like what's gonna happen?" But then they did it full out, and they showed how their director's cut was gonna look, and I was like, "Whoa!" Like if they don't win, I'm gonna be so upset. And then they did, and I was like, "Thank God." And then for leaders, I did like Marley. I think I would have chosen Kaya personally. I think Marley's was good. She was a bit I just like the intensity that Kaya gave us with her facial expressions with the close up. I just felt like it was just so it just stuck in my mind. And Marley's was also she was very endearing and like I don't know, she just didn't give me the intensity that I liked with Kaya, so I would have preferred Kaya. I don't know how to explain it, but Marley is just known for being so I don't know, like I love her animated. She's known to be very animated, I feel. And she did kill it, but to me, I would prefer Kaya for the leaders, director's cut. Yeah. Okay. What about you guys? Jessica, Marie Claire.
For the rookies, I did like RH Tokyo. I actually really liked how they executed the moves. So I was like, okay, that was a good pick. Motive did do really well too. I was like, okay, give these girls their flowers because we don't really see them. So we finally got to see them dance. So that was good. Middle class, I'm not too sure about AG, Osaka gang, Ojo gang. Like I'm not too sure about them. They did well, but I feel like I really liked AG Squad's one more. I don't know. I like the whole bandana
Mm.
props thing that they did. Like it just felt like it was gonna be a nice transition to the other part. But yeah. And for leader, I liked Marley's one. It was very animated. I liked the movements that she did. It just made so much sense for that part between all the leaders. So it was cool. Yeah, that's my picks on those three.
Mm.
Okay. For rookie. Oh, let me start with leader. I think it would have been more competitive if their hair was styled effectively to the choreography. Because what happened is some of their hair got in the way, like Tisha's and Ibuki's, and I that's a stylist thing. So if their hair was out of the way, because Marley's was back and so was Kaya's, I think it would have created a really nice line and make it more competitive. And I also found it interesting they had two different director's cut options, and I thought it was really cool they included those in the uncut so we could really appreciate it. Marley taking leader, I really appreciated from a lack of seeing her in the show and being encouraged that she made that director's cut. But I think there were many people that were competitive with it. I think Kaya was competitive with that as well. So I am also curious as to if there was a talks with directors, like the girls with the production, and production's like, you can't choose these people because they've already been chosen for something else. I don't know. That's always a hypothetical. I actually have no idea, and I hope that's not the case. I hope there's free will, and that's life. For middle class, I preferred AG Squad because of the bandana utilization. It matched a lot of the prop in space. It felt like it meshed better. But I do have something to touch on in regards to the camera work for it. A lot of people were saying that it is not like they didn't get to control the editing for this, and some people are like, well, that's still no excuse. If you've ever watched Stage Fighter and you watch the mega stage, that was the most horrendously cut dance
Mm.
concept I've ever seen in my life. And I railed it for 20 minutes on YouTube about it. It was very, very distasteful and really borderline disrespected the dancers in the type of cut opportunities. So I can see to a certain extent how
Mm.
the leader and the rookie, I think it depends on what editor they got, is kind of the double-edged sword. If they had a part in the editing process, then we can hold them to more accountability. But because we don't know, we really don't know, because you can have a simple formation and it gets shot beautifully, or have a formation be super complex or super beautiful and it just gets shot poorly. Like you never know with that. So I don't have too many emotions in regards to how they were cut like I did, because now I know they don't get to control that. Even if they
Mhm.
have direction and ideas, it's really up to the editor intern sitting in the booth editing it, which is just unfortunate. So I would say with middle, my preference was AG. I liked the creativity of Bums Up, but because it was a motorcycle and we were dealing with horses and we were dealing with other Western elements, it didn't
Hmm.
match. It was playing off the different version of writing when it wouldn't have stayed on brand. And then with Ojo Gang, I did appreciate the camera work. Part of me feels that I would have enjoyed theirs more if I understood the context and flow leading up to it. It felt out of place. All of the cuts did. Out of place from where they were happening in the concept shoot,
Hmm.
which is therefore why I think it was a bit harder to pick the middle class, but each one brought something very competitive. I enjoyed the middle classes in the drafts, or like in the uncuts, just seeing what they chose to go with. Them leaning in, I was surprised they didn't go AG, but then also part of me was like, of course they wouldn't want to go AG. But then I also appreciated with the rookie class how Bums Up's positioning in the formations was like giving them their flowers for the choreography. So in my head, I would be like, well, AG would be a good pick for director's cut to give them their flowers for making the choreo. But then again, I'm not there picking shots or whatever. So those are all my
Hmm.
little shower thoughts with that. With the rookie class, picking RH Tokyo makes sense in terms of how the choreography was made and the spacing and staging of it. So when you look at Motive, because I agree with you, Motive getting that cut would have been awesome, and I appreciated her risk taking. But when you look at the positioning of the girls, one of them looks hidden in the camera shot that you see
Ah.
compared to the spacing of RH Tokyo. Theirs is technically the only one that I saw that had the spacing that matched in schema to how Vanessa and Aaliyah had it made. But they were tossing up between Motive and oh my gosh, and RH. And we also don't know, the girls didn't know how Mnet was going to edit either. So they didn't know that Motive was going to get neglected as much as we're seeing them being neglected, which is why we could have that subtle leaning to wanting Motive to get those types of nuggets. Just like I was so happy Ojo Gang got director's cut. What an encouragement, right? But we would have assumed that Ojo Gang would have blasted through battles, and they must have assumed that too, right? But then once that didn't happen, we didn't know. So I think that's where what's interesting about this too is how my emotions are tied into the whole thing based on who is included and who is excluded in all of these as well, right? So
Mm.
those are kind of my overall thoughts. I thought everybody contributing what they did for their director's cuts, I thought were very interesting and all respectable in their own right, for sure. And yeah, so those are my little perspectives.
I will say it might be an unpopular opinion. I think with the director's cut, I think in regards to the middle class, when I saw AG Squad, like their director's cut with the bandanas and that dance, like it could have definitely be the camera work and like them not having control of like how everything is looking. But I do think that like the use of bandanas, I don't know, for some reason it just kind of overpowered their mood a little bit too much. Like I just wanted to see a little bit more dancing, I guess, instead of the bandana work. I don't know. I just kind of I like props, but for me to it was too much props, if that makes sense. I don't know. So I after watching what it looked like, they weren't my choice. So I'm happy that I went with um Osaka. Um but which music video as well did you guys like the most? Like the finished work? I will say I'm still like torn. I'm just torn. I don't know. Maybe one of you guys can go first, and then I'll just agree with one of you guys. I don't know.
God, I love rookie classes format so much. I was utterly surprised. I think there was only a couple cases where if they tweaked it, it would have flowed a lot better. When it comes to the cinematic composition of it, freaking incredible. They did a great job. It's something that you normally don't see not from a leader class. I think that's what it caught me off guard about it, because leader is expected. It's like smoke, right? Like you just see the inclusiveness of everybody. And they also were working with Double with the People. But how I really liked the separation of the girls, and they each got a one-on-one, but they still incorporated girls that matched their niche. And when you look at the ending groupings, you saw their techniques and their strengths, such as the over ISO'd section in the front, the heel slow tension flow of the heel group in the garage, and then the girls popping off in slow motion in the back. Like I really appreciated how everybody got to show off their strengths in the groups and as a part of these featured shots. I thought it was so tasteful. And I do think part of it is they got a good editor that really edited it well. My big note I gave to it was during the braid section where Motive was at the top with the blue light. I wish that if they were up there, that's fine. But having them come down and environmentally set for her solo section, it would have saturated more. Just like in the very beginning where you saw the girls go from Royal to the next group from Motive, seeing them go in pairings, that was such a really great way of showcasing people, but making a really dope one take flow going back. So I loved the rookies in that sense. When it comes to the content and the choreography, Leader was really well done, because if you think about when it comes to like scene setting, Rhea didn't have a ton of like scene change spaces. So she had like she had different pathways, different options, the usage of her printer. And like a little storyline was cool. I thoroughly enjoyed how you saw the connection between the smaller groups with, whenever you have the paper goes into the next group, the group talks on the phone. It was like Kaya and Honey J, and then you saw the phone with Marley and Rie. So it was like a literal game of they were using associative objects that were helping you foreshadow what the next section was going to be. That was very smart. I loved that, and I love that that showed in the editing as well. So I think those are the two I love for different reasons. For middle class, it was I think I was surprised by not seeing as much recycled choreography. I think I was expecting that because of a lot of the royal family things that have been touched on. I'm appreciative that we didn't have a ton of it. I think part of it was formatting of the editing. I know they had some ideas and they just didn't come to fruition. I think the usage of the male dancers was interesting. I got a little bit shy watching some of it. I thought it was really funny, the bit with Rie on FaceTime with all that. I thought that was really funny. And I'm surprised Imnet didn't make that a big deal. Like they made it like a fun, like chill thing. That could have been like a really big issue. Does that make sense? Like that was a weird thing they chose to not make an issue when you normally would. But then also, this is a Korean show, not an American show, where they would be like, perfect, let's just rev this up in drama, right? I don't know. But it's interesting with all of that. So my favorites were from the overall like concept, the cinema composition, I liked Rookie. When it comes to the choreography composition, I like Leader. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah. I think for me is definitely leader class. It's so I love the way that rookie class did it, but for me, like with the numbers of middle class, I think the ending of middle class looks so good to me. Just how in sync they all were. And then when it came to the circle, and they had like a rope too, right? That all the outside people were doing. And then just the girls in the middle just going at it too. I just thought that picture looked so good. But that is honestly the only memorable like huge formation wise that I could remember. Is just once that once that beat drops at the end where it's like the red background and just that headshot overhead, I think that was really what took it for me with middle class. But as far as leader class, I mean, they do have less in numbers, so they could do a lot more technically with other factors of the video. I think I love how Rihata just took you wherever their focus was, the camera took you straight there instantly, right? And I think that gives me like shivers down my spine. I'm like, oh, like this is a crazy shot because I would have never, you know what I mean? It's like it's cool to just see how she really utilized like the direction of the camera and just everyone's strengths as well. And then the conveyor belt too. I was like, okay, I know it's not moving right, and it's like it's just going back. I'm like, oh, that's so
Yeah.
clean. I really thought that leader class was dope. As far as rookie class, I do think that I love how rookie class. I mean, of course, they all came in with their pairings, but I do feel I kind of thought that it would have only been for the what is it for the choreography that Bumps Up made and just in certain sections. I thought it would just be like single dancers here, there, here. But I do love the fact that you brought up the very ending of the rookie class because I was like, oh, that's really dope how all three sections are just totally different vibes. And the fact that each of these women, they know like they're good at it. They're really good. And they chose strategically, like, y'all are great at this. Boom. Over here, right? And then it's just the spotlights on them. I think those are really, really great choices. So, but like as far as like my favorite in terms of like enjoyment and watching it, loving it is definitely leader class.
Hmm. Okay, interesting.
Okay, on my side, I'll if I had to rank the three, I'll put rookie first, leader class second, and middle and last. Okay, so for the rookie, I love that one so much. I've been watching it since it dropped until now. I'm still watching it because it's just so good. The song is so catchy. The beats, like everything, just went so well. I love the choreo. The concept made so much sense. I really love that they gave everybody like screen time, so you could see every member of the team. They mixed and matched everybody. I like how they gave grace to Lip J's choreo and had her be in the front when they were doing, I think, the second part of the choreo, I think. And yeah, every part, I like Vanessa's part, but like Mark did, the way Jessica did say, the blue lights was not really, something was happening there. And Aaliyah's part also in that little passageway, that was like so nice. They danced. I feel like they popped off. The girlies, like I didn't expect RH Tokyo and Osaka gang girls to dance like that because I knew already like Royal Family girls can dance like that, but the other two girls, I was shocked. And the ending part, I had to go back like 10 times because I had to see each section. The middle girls, the girls on the side twerking, um, the girls on the heels dancing so soft. It was so amazing. So I was like, okay. I thought Aaliyah and Vanessa were gonna end it, but they were nowhere to be found at the end. So I was like, wow, they really made sure everybody gets screen time. That was amazing. So that one, 10 out of 10 for me. I really like that. The leader class, so well directed. Like the angles, the quality. Oh my god! Like Rihata, mm, she did her big one on that. Everything made so much sense. Yeah, everybody got screen time. It was so much better than past seasons videos. That was like properly directed. The choreo, everybody got her like to do like a little duo, like a little duet vibe or freestyle. I just loved everything, especially the end part where the camera angles moves at different positions and they're doing that little move.
Loved.
It was so clean, and I like the storyline also.
Mhm.
It was cute, fun. I didn't really go too deep into the storyline, but I really liked how she directed that. And um, middle class. I don't really know, guys. I wasn't really vibing because it just felt like AG Squad was gonna direct the whole thing because it just felt like it was their choreo taking the whole thing. I don't know. Even though Rookie did do the same thing, but it was so different from Middle in some way. I don't know. I feel like there was a lot that were lacking. The random guys cramping out of nowhere was really I didn't expect that. I thought they were just gonna be standing there, but they were cramping and they're dancing next to them. I was like, okay, because I know usually they'll bring men if there's a section or a competition where they have to bring men. I think in the first season they brought some guys or something. I'm not too sure, so it was very random.
I think
Like,
it's like the mega crew missions.
Mm.
Right, what you mean?
I think it
The
was
big.
Women of Men or Men of Women, something in the first
Oh,
season
Oh.
where they brought guys in. I think Coco and Butter brought Nux and the other
Mm.
guys in that first season. So I didn't expect to see them here. But anyways, Royal Family didn't ask for the guys. Mnet brought the guys. So yeah, there's nothing they could have done that. But I wasn't really impressed with that. I really wanted more. But the ending part, I did like the ending part when they started doing the even though that's still Paris's choreo, but that's okay. I was vibing with the red lights and how it looked like it did look a mega crew vibe. I like that, but yeah,
We
I
need to touch.
wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to talk about that.
We need to talk about the royal family situation with the reuse choreo because there is an update with it, and I think this leads to a very interesting
Woo.
question for me, because there's other things going on in the dance world that royal family's involved in. So, apparently, I mean, Isla went on a fans live and said herself. Now we can't really verify she's saying it though, so I think it's safer to hear it from somebody in the show versus not, right? Where they are under management rights, meaning that they're using legacy choreo for the show. Like they're not like it gave the impression that they're under contract that they can't make up their own choreo. They have to use legacy choreo from Paris in the royal family bucket of things. Which, if you look at it, it is very yes. Somebody just touched on it. IDL. We're gonna touch on that in a second. That could be a reason why we're seeing so much choreo reuse. They have not done anything original, which actually validates what Isla's saying. If that's really the case, like the originality comes from it came from the crew when they incepted it. The only thing that they're going to get dropped on points on is for creativity, right? That's a big component. They're not, I mean, it does come across like they're plagiarizing, but if it's they have permission and they were told to do it, then they're just maintaining their brand, but it's not working in their favor for the type of show it is. So I found that interesting, and somebody touched on IDL. IDL is the International Dance League. So if you know D-League, D-League's in Japan. This is a different entity, but it operates similarly, where you have international crews such as 1 Million from South Korea, Brotherhood from Canada, GRV from America, Jam Republic Singapore, Royal Family, New Zealand, and then, oh my God, who's the last one? There's one other team. Oh, I can't believe I forgot them. I got 5 out of 6. They have to compete in different countries this year and next year for this league, and then they have a championship, and then whoever wins wins. Royal Family's on that, and I am so curious if they are going to be making new material for that circuit or not. They have to make new material for circuits like WDCC and HHI because that is a huge component of your score, and you can get docked for not being creative. So that's why when you looked at their WDCC set, it is, yeah, I understand that. It's filled with choreo from projects like Nike and GRV. I understand that. it comes down to framework. Oh, quick style. Thank you. It comes down to what they're trying to justify, what the criteria is, in which I screenshot what IDLs is. But my point, though, is it makes me really curious if they're going to continue to do this going into IDL, or if they're going to actually showcase a degree of creative venture because of the type of circuit they're going in, because it hasn't really happened, right? I don't know. But that was just a little thought I wanted to bring, that a lot of us have been hearing, and I want to honor that. Like, if that's really what's happening, I'm not gonna, do I think it was the best choice? I don't think so for the context of the show, but there's just consequences to trying things or going for things in this way, right? So I still stand by, the only thing we have left is to have Paris on it in some way, shape, or form, and then we can all just be like, we did it. We're done. We got Paris on here because she's like this walking anomaly from all the seasons that always gets talked about, but she's never there. So I just
Right.
think that would be really funny. Anyway.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I mean that's a very interesting new fact to learn about royal family. I had no idea, but at least now that kind of gives a little bit more context, and we can have more of a dialogue on them and then copying other past choreographies, and now we can kind of move forward and have a new idea of how we feel about royal family. But I will say, for going back to the music videos and like what my favorite would be, thinking about it, I think my top is the Rookies. Just because, like, I thought the music video, just everything about it was phenomenal. The choreography and just the different scenes that they were able to give us, with like each different crew being able to show something and like to be able to shine. Because I felt like, that's something that would be very important, that we would all want to see. And I like that as leaders, the AG Squad girls, like, they really, I think, made it a point to make everyone shine. And I also like that they gave themselves a little nice scene where, I forget her name, but that scene with the long braids, that moment I thought was just like amazing. And I think that was a really nice just way for them to kind of have their own kind of solo moment going. And then Aaliyah, I believe, I also liked her moment that she had with the Royal Family girls, where they were having the close up with the face and they were doing the facial expressions. It was just it just gave me like, these girls are tight. Like, these girls, like, they know each other. Like, they probably talked about putting a scene like that in there. Like, I just felt like that was a nice moment to see the Royal Family girls with Leah, and I just really liked that entire music video. So I think I would definitely say that they're my favorite. Next, I would say it's hard for me, just because, like, to see who would be next in regards to my favorites, just because I really like the leaders and their music video. I feel like Rihata did an amazing job at just like creating a storyline. All the different camera angles I thought was just very creative. Like, she definitely showed her genius and was able to really show, like, I'm not just a backup dancer, like, us choreographers, like, we do it all pretty much. And I love that she was able to kind of show that. And then, but I will say, with the middle class, that ending, it lives in my head rent free, with the ropes and then the choreography when they're all in a circle doing that together. I don't know, that got me hyped. I was so excited. I was like on my feet when I was watching that. So I think, I don't know, I'll probably give it to the leaders, but I don't know. I loved how the middle class did the ending. So I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'll give it to the leaders, but I loved the middle class too. So those would be my Rookie would be my favorite. But yeah, I mean, the next thing I kind of wrote down for us to discuss would be the worst dancers that were chosen, but we definitely already got into it. But yeah, I don't know. Did you guys have any other thoughts in regards to the music videos, or like how that whole situation ended with who got chosen as worst dancer? Do you guys want to add anything?
Nah, I mean, it's just mainly like I just got it from, I got why AG Squad chose Royal Family. Royal Family choosing AG Squad. I was like, okay. And then RH Tokyo choosing bumps up, I get it as well. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, I'm glad you touched that because it's for me, Royal in the episode, they were based on what Mnet showed. They were like, AG should have attacked RH Tokyo. Y'all had that choice too. Y'all could have attacked them as well, but you guys chose to go on equal footing with AG. So like, I understand like that type of retaliation for sure. But also, I'm like, if that's a reason for why you shouldn't have gotten selected, you guys had an opportunity as well. It wasn't like you just got attacked. You could have, targeted bums up. You could have targeted motive. You could have targeted anybody, for any reason. And you guys chose to go AG squad. So yeah, because they were like in the vein of, oh, make somebody go in the negatives. Y'all had 3 teams you could have chosen from, and you chose a team that had 100 points, leaving both of you guys less, and then you would have been third and helped somebody get knocked down a second or two, right? Or you could have had, maybe part of it was they didn't want AG to be first. I don't know. So I'm just saying, whenever I was hearing that, I was like, it takes 2 to tango on that one. And you guys had just as much freedom. It's not like Motive saying that because they didn't have a choice. Y'all did. So that was my like little T in that particular situation. But I get it. I get it.
Yeah. As someone said, Gen Z are petty. Definitely. Like, they were just being petty. They were not being strategic. They just wanted to get them back. And it's just like, come on. Like, I don't know. Seeing RH Tokyo just do so well, I'm not surprised, but it's like they're right there. They're right there. And no one took the opportunity to just bring them down. And then we also got to see that Rihata, who was the best director, I think she was chosen by the battle judges. So she ended up getting the power to be able to choose the what was it? The song and like who went against each other in the next mission, which is the K-pop challenge that we got to see on YouTube. So we see who ends up going up against each other. I feel like Rihata choosing Team Korea to go up against them. I feel like maybe she wanted a challenge, or she wanted the opportunity, obviously, to maybe bring them down because they could see what might come in the future. Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like maybe Rihata, she didn't want it to be too easy, and she knew that Team Korea, they were gonna do well with the K-pop mission, so they're like, okay, let's go against them. And I felt like it worked in their favor. Well, we'll see. I don't know, but in my opinion, seeing the music videos and how they both turned out, I mean, the performances and how they turned out, Bumps Up, they were the most boring to me. And then RH Tokyo, they were definitely way better. So yeah, that was interesting. Did you guys like that Rihata got all that power? Or did you guys kind of want them to go a different route? I don't know. I just thought it was interesting that she got chose, like she was the best director, and she also got all that power to choose what's gonna happen next. I don't know.
I was surprised she got as much power as she did, but man, she gave the people what they wanted, honestly. She was like, everyone wants to see Royal Family and AG Squad, go for it. And I think might as well. And I think she made great matchups because she thought about the groups with the songs. Like she was thinking about who's gonna be good challenges for each other. And I'm like, I appreciate and I respect that approach because I would do that as well. And 2 out of 3 matchups. I mean, I feel like Rie was expecting Bums Up to be more competitive, and they are in terms of views. I feel that's going to come into play here pretty soon when it comes to the ranks for K-pop mission. We don't know that information, but the views are going to switch things up in some way because of the percentage of the global viewership, right? But then also there's on-site voting. I mean, we have all the speculation because Royal or other people on TikTok or commenting, they've left these passive, Easter eggs for us to go, we have a feeling about how things are going to go in the future, but we really don't know until they show us. So I liked all that to say, I liked Rihata's choices, and I liked her intention behind the choices based on what we saw. And I believe Rie was expecting all 3 challenges to have close calls, but unfortunately 2 out of 3 gave that impression, and one of them I'm noticing a sense of fatigue on Bums Up, whether it's injuries, like there's a lot of that based on who was having to sit out, exhaustion, overwhelmment. Like there's a lot of fatigue I'm noticing on them in particular, compared to a lot of the other teams. But it could be my lack of seeing the other teams in that space compared to when we saw Bums Up in the first season. It could be that, like, the fire's a little different. It's still there, but it's in a different, I don't know. It's more of a marathon perspective versus like they're fired up and ready to go. So I'm just very curious about their development throughout the show as well. So
Yeah.
Okay, for me, I feel like I do miss how they did it in the past seasons, where I think they had to do choreos for the parts of the songs they wanted or something, if I'm not mistaken. So I do miss that format. But I also like how Rie chose the songs and how she grouped the people. She knows what Mnet loved. She knows what drama people wanted to see, putting AG Squad and Royal Family together. And yeah, I also think that she like picked them properly, and the songs that she matched with every team makes so much sense. So I was like, okay, she knows what people want. But yeah, that part was just was pretty messy. The funny thing is that Ibuki was asking for a specific song, and she gave her the total opposite of what she wanted. So that's so funny.
Yeah, I was gagged. I was like, ooh, girl.
Yeah, and someone keeps commenting, Ojo, more like oh no. So I still stuck here.
Listen, when she said that, I was like, oh, I gotta turn this off now. It's time to go to bed. it's
That
time to
was so funny.
sleep.
Oh no, oh my god. I was watching the end of that episode and I was like just because like I was like there's no way that they actually would say that in real life. Like I just feel like they're probably being told to say these things and then they're probably like laughing afterwards. Or what was the other one? There was one where it's like I think Tisha said it to Kaya and was like, "Oh, I'm going to show you who's the queen," or something like that. I was like, "Guys, please stop. I'm so tired. I'm so tired." No, I was dying at these comments.
Oh,
No, but that got me.
it
That was
really
so
did,
funny.
because it's just the format is so weird and out of place. So they just have to say something to each other, like yo mama type of jokes.
Yeah,
But Marley's one took first place.
that killed me.
Gosh.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, but I think definitely with Rihanna getting all that power, I mean she won all those matches, so I mean they gave it to her, they gave it to her. It's just that's just how I feel about it. I do feel like they should have possibly not I don't mean to backtrack a bit, but I do feel like they should have maybe rewarded the people that have gotten chosen for director's cut. So then it could have been a little bit more fair. Maybe probably not 50 extra points, but maybe 30. You know,
I thought they were
maybe
going to
you know,
point something for
like
that.
something, right? To
Yeah.
where it's like at least maybe if you got director's cut, depending on who you're paired with, if it's not RH Tokyo, maybe for them just getting the complete win. Maybe you for sure got section A or B. Not that they had a problem with it this season, but I mean, I felt like they should have gotten like a little bit of an edge, like because I got director's cut, we for sure get to take part A, and y'all get B. And then that just had to be that rather than hey, you got some time in the video. I mean, sure it's gonna get like thousands and thousands of million views, right? That's still nice in itself, but at the end of the day, I felt like they should have got some. But I
Yeah.
do love Rihanna's choices. Again, with the whole Ibuki thing, she was like, which one you want?" She's like, Espa. She said, Didi, here you go. I was like, oh, you doing her so dirty. That is so hilarious. But yeah,
No, that
that's
killed
that's
me.
just how I feel on it.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, that's all the notes I got for you guys. That was the end of the episode. Altogether, I feel like every episode is getting crazier and crazier. Um, but yeah, the music videos I think were just so fun to watch. I'm definitely gonna go watch them over and over and over. Maybe my favorite will honestly change. Who knows? Um, but yeah, I don't know. I think that's it. Unless you guys wanna anything else we should discuss.
Well,
But we can close out.
what is everybody going to be working on this week in between our lives outside of the show? I think is how we finished the
Mm.
last one.
Ooh, I could start, I guess. Outside of this, I am on Instagram as well. If anyone is looking for like more of like influencer type content, fashion, beauty, stuff like that, that's what I'm doing over it there on my Instagram and TikTok. And um, I'm also just gonna be working on some auditions I have. I'm doing some acting as well, so I'm doing my auditions. What else? What else? What else? I guess that's it for me. That's what I'm gonna be working on outside of this. But yeah.
For me, I'm just catching up on reaction videos. I will be posting J Hope AT's reaction tomorrow because that was, oh my God. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for none of them. And then as well as catch up on some albums too. I heard a lot about AT's album. So I was like, I definitely wanna hop on that and check that one out for sure.
Period.
On my side, nothing much. I'm trying to cool it down because work is it's kicking my ass. So I'm like, okay, I can't really be doing the most because I start getting burnouts. So
Mm,
I only record now and then because it gets hella tiring. Yeah.
yep, I feel that.
I get that. Yeah. Right now, I'm in the middle of a BTS marathon, Zero Base One, Boys Planet 2. When that kind of stuff comes out, I've already looked at the Signal song and things along those lines. Lineup 10 just dropped. They're dropping videos, so I've unfollowed everything so I don't get spoiled with the lineups of that. And I'm marathoning the battle circuit itself. So I'm on season 4, and there's 10 seasons. So I'm in the middle of three dense marathons, and I have some Patreon requests coming up as well. And when things come out, like dance practices, Itzy just came back, so I did both their B-sides, UAU, just anybody that I've already marathoned. When they release new stuff, I take a look at, and I release older material on YouTube. So that's kind of what I've been doing. I need to learn the rookie choreography. I haven't yet because I'm sore, but the leader one's out, and I'm about to post another version of it on YouTube, my two-take dying version, which is really fun. So that's my like empathy version of this is what it would kind of feel like to dance and audition it. It sucked doing it twice in a row. I hated it. I've like blessed the girls for doing it 3 times in a row. Like it does not feel good. So that's what's on my pipeline as of late. I'll be in Korea next month, so that's cool.
Mm.
Take us.
It's not
Yes,
okay.
oh,
It's
you
not
walk
for
me
fighter.
like
It's
it.
not for fighter. I know it sounds like it is. It's not. In no way, shape, or form am I going for fighter. I'm going for. I'm getting a procedure done that I can't say because it's not technically legal in the country. But here are my
Ah,
hints. Here are my hints. I'm getting a new area unlocked, I guess is what I can call it.
ah.
Are you
So.
covering up your tattoos or are you adding
Oh
more?
no, I can't confirm or deny. I'm adding, not subtracting, and it's going on my legs will be involved. So that's I'm not going to perjure myself here. I'm not getting in trouble. No, I'm going for that. And also, I found a studio there that does Korean traditional dance, and I wanted to take one of those classes, so I'm doing that, and I'm linking up with some colleagues. Once again, not fighter affiliated at this point in time. So yeah, it's good. I have to specify. I'll tell you guys. I get a couple DMs whenever when someone's like, Jess, are you doing something? I'm like, nope, I'm not. So just letting y'all know, I truly have not gotten any emails from Mnet. Please don't expect anything. So there you go. Yeah.
Are you gonna go to the 1 million studios?
No, I'm not going to 1 mil. I don't like taking choreo classes in person as much anymore. I like taking fundamental foundation classes. I've learned a lot of choreography in my life. I really like learning like beginner choreo classes are actually really fun because I don't have to think as hard. I can just enjoy the class for what it is. And they teach very nicely to you as well. So it makes me feel happy that they're being nice to me whenever I take it. But yeah, I'm really wanting to look at traditional Korean dance or like the folk dances. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, the Fighter franchise members like thanks for the Infinity Stones. Madeline, what? Oh. No, I mean, I will say I have emailed a couple Korean commentators affiliated with the Fighter franchise already, and I have heard responses. So, but there's nothing set in stone. But regarding like, I'm not talking about people on the show. I'm talking people who have been on the show. That's who I've been in talks with. So yeah, I don't know if I want Mnet to have footage of me to do whatever they want. I'm still on the fence with that. So yeah, you may not see me on Mnet. It's fine. I'm good. I like being in my seat, getting to say what I want to say without an NDA. It's awesome. Nothing, no NDAs here. I can just say that was terrible. Well, I don't really have to say that. I'm like, let's not do that. And then I don't get in trouble. It's awesome, right? And I get to talk to all of you.
I was going to say real quick, since we all know about dancing, Bailey for this
Oh, yeah.
project, all day project.
Ooh,
How we feeling about that? Just quick thoughts.
took me by surprise.
I'm actually really excited. I really want to see where this group is going to go.
Wait, who is this?
Bailey sucked.
She's a dancer. She's a choreographer, dancer. She was based in America, and she's done K-pop work. She's one of the few female members of Kinja's. She has a lot of affiliation in the dance scene with Nike. She's very, very well known internationally, and so it doesn't surprise me that she's doing the K-pop route because I've had conversations with her in the past, and it was right when she joined Kinja's and got the Nike deal is when I talked with her. And she she was saying that with Kinja's and with all of these deals, it's just kind of something like she didn't really know what she wanted to do with her life. She was like 16, 17 at the time. And so it doesn't surprise me that she had the passion to want to do like the K-pop route. She's always wanted to do something more. And for me, I'm like, she's at a great age to do it, So it's I don't know what to feel about All Day Project because I haven't seen any of their official material. I know they have something out that's like about the background story. I just like to go, look at the material, see what they say, and kind of go from there. I know there's a lot of mixed feelings based on certain people in the group. But I try to understand as much context as possible to make a more objective decision on it. But I don't know when I'll be able to look at them because I have like 15 other groups to look through this week. So I would like to review it at least though. Oh yeah, side note, D-League. If you know the International Dance League, D-League has their national finals, which Manami, who's on Ojo Gang, that is one of her teams, Katakawa Dreams, is competing in the national finals. She won't be there, I don't think, because it's just such a dense thing. So if you're somebody that wants to support somebody in that way, you can watch. I'll be watching it. It'll be really fun. So there you go. And side note, Ria Hata, I don't know, Cam, if you knew this, Ria Hata used to be the director for Avex Royal Brats, which is a team that competes on D-League as well.
Oh, for D-League?
Mm-hmm. She's not with them anymore, but she used to be a director for him. Yeah. So... What are your thoughts on Yu McKee being in Boys Planet 2? Do y'all know about that? He's from the Man Fighter.
Okay, he
Um,
all these dances, like someone said, all the dancers coming out of nowhere. Oh, they want to take the idol route. It's very, it was very surprising because when I watched the Signal song and I saw him, I was like, he was the last person I ever expected to see there. Like, oh wow. So
Dang.
I do not know. So I really want to know. Like everyone's asking, can you Mickey sing? Can Bailey Sock sing? What is going on? I really I really like to know on that part there. But yeah, I was really shocked to see him there. I know he's a great dancer, but yeah, now the vocals has to back it up.
Hmm.
So or
I
rap. I don't know.
I'm really curious what Mnet's gonna do with Yumiki because he used to be teammates with Mihawk. Like it's not they were equals in the spaces that they've been in. So it's so fascinating, right? Like to just see that kind of dynamic. I'm not used to seeing that. Boys Planet season one was a whole vibe though. I mean, I just finished it. So I had the privilege of not having to wait 2 years. I got like a month and I'm like, pop off, let's go. It's been really interesting the amount of former idols coming on the show, which is a bit like a little bit saddening because then it kind of feels like if you're seeing four members of one group, good chance that group's wanting to disband or they're not going to be continuing if this doesn't work out, which is unfortunate. So, but it's going to be very interesting with the quantity of people. And then I'm hearing like they said they were going to do two separate groups, and then I heard recently that they're now only going to do one group, which is like buck wild considering you have two completely different sectors of trainees and you have 160 people and not 98. Like that's how many people are involved in this show and you're only having 8 slots. That's crazy. That's crazy for me.
That's wild.
It's wild. So that's why I'm just like, I'm just take a step back. I'm gonna let the tea brew. We're gonna let it unfold, see what Mnet chooses to do. Be like, live your life. There's just gonna be. I'm just thinking in my head. There's gonna be so many like full cams that I'm gonna have to review. I'm gonna be so tired looking through them. But I liked them though, so we'll see. We'll see. Those are my thoughts.
I just feel like there's so much that you guys are. There's definitely a lot that I am not privy to, so I'm just like listening to you guys, and I'm like, ooh, ugh. But
You should check it out.
okay, okay, I will. I don't know. Do you guys want to close out here? My computer is actually about to die, so I was gonna say like, oh, if I disappear, so you guys know, or we could just close out unless anyone has anything else.
no, I'm all good.
Okay, well, thank you guys for tuning in and watching us recap this episode. There's obviously so much to discuss with each episode. So thank you so much for joining. Definitely check out each of our channels. Go subscribe, go support all of us if you guys care.
You
They're
don't
gonna
have
be
to
linked.
care. It's okay.
If you
You
care.
don't have to talk to me. I'll still be here.
But yeah, if you guys are enjoying these lives, let us know and definitely just continue to support us when we do go live. So we can just know that you guys are loving them because we're definitely having fun talking about all this stuff together. So, but yeah, thank you guys again for just tuning in. This was very fun. Um, and yeah, I guess we'll see you guys.
Bye bye.
Stop it. I'm not going on Mnet.
Do you want to